channel. My name is Lauren Allure. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us today. So guys, today we're doing a video about paints. So today we're going to discuss 5 things to know about paint before choosing your paint color. So if you're interested in seeing what those are, then keep on watching. So before we get started, guys, I always feel like I need to make a disclaimer when I make these type of videos, but I just want to say, okay, first let me just give a little background. I used to own an interior design business. I'm currently in the process of relaunching that, and I've also taken a couple of courses in interior design. Now, I don't claim to be an expert, but these are just things that I've learned along my journey, and I've learned this in my courses as well. But yeah, just a combination of different things that I've done along my journey that has taught me these things. So I just thought that I would share these things with you because they really can help. So yeah, I just wanted to say those things before we began. So without further ado, let's get started. So my first suggestion, guys, is to actually physically paint or swatch your wall with the color that you're thinking about using in your home. And when I say physically, I mean using a roller. I do not recommend using a paintbrush just because the paintbrush can leave strokes, and if you want to paint over that, then you have strokes unless you want to sand it down. That's a lot of work unnecessarily. Just get a roller and just roll your swatch on your wall. You can always go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Sherwin-Williams. You can go directly to the actual paint store like Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore, and you can ask for a sample of whatever color you would like, and they normally range from $5 to $10, and you just swatch it on your wall. Now, while the swatch cards are great, they aren't always accurate. So this is why I say it's best to directly swatch it on your wall. The reason that I say that is because depending on the lighting in your home, which we will talk about in a minute, the color can vary, okay? So with the swatch cards, while it will give you an idea of the actual paint color, it may not be the most accurate. Whatever paint color that you are sampling, the undertones may reflect whatever is in your room. So again, the paint color can be very different from what is on that swatch card. So that's something else to consider when you are swatching your paint. So for example, let's just say that you're trying to swatch gray paint, right? But the gray paint has some blue undertones in it, and you have furniture in your room that is blue, okay? So basically what will happen is that the blue that's under that gray, the undertone, the furniture will pull that undertone out, and the room is gonna look more blue than gray, if that makes sense. So yes, please keep that in mind. That's why I always suggest don't just go off of the paint swatch cards, because there's a lot of factors that can actually make that paint color vary. So next, let's talk about lighting. So exposure of natural light can really affect the paint color. What I mean by that is the direction that your light comes into your home, okay? So with that being said, if your window faces north, it will reflect a cooler light. So with that, cool tone colors may feel a bit harsh, a bit cold with a room that has a window that faces north. So with south-facing windows, it's the total opposite. So basically, the color is going to reflect a more warm light. Now, to offset your north-facing window, I would always recommend going with a warm tone color. So and that goes with whites, because some whites seriously can be cool tone and some can be warm tone. It really varies, and the only way to know, I'm telling y'all, the only way to know is to actually paint it on your wall. Swatch it on your wall. That's the best thing you can do. And make sure when you do swatch your wall, make sure most these days, paint automatically comes with primer in it. So just make sure that it has the primer in it so that when you go to paint over it, there won't be an issue, okay? It'll be covered. So what I would suggest to offset the coolness and the warmness if you don't want it too warm, because sometimes it can feel very bright, or it can feel like the light is beaming down on you in a warm room. So the way to offset that is to use a cool tone paint for the south facing windows, and then to use a warm tone paint for the north facing windows. Kind of offsets the two, and then that way you'll have a happy medium, if that makes sense. So for number 3, we're gonna talk about the big one, y'all. The big one, and that is the finishes. We're gonna talk about the finishes. So there are, I think, 5 or maybe 6 finishes. So we have flat, we have matte, we have eggshell, we have semi-gloss, we have HighGloss, I'm missing one, and we have satin. So it's 6. It's 6 total. So let's just start off with flat paint, okay? I only recommend flat paint, honestly and truly, because it is not durable whatsoever. It is so hard to clean. It's so hard to clean. I would only recommend flat paint for your ceiling. That's just because there's no traffic going on in the ceiling. Nobody's walking on your ceiling. Nobody's touching your ceiling, none of that. So, and let you know when you clean it, but that's about it. So I highly, highly recommend only using flat paint on your ceiling. Now, moving on to the next finish, which will be matte. Let me just say this, okay? Matte is in the same category as flat paint, okay? It's a little bit more durable, but not that much, okay? So matte paint is, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I just think it automatically elevates a space, and it also is very, very, very modern. So I love matte paint. However, it's not durable, y'all. It's not durable. It's almost just as bad as flat. It honestly and truly is. So I would suggest matte for a low traffic area. So something like a formal dining room, a door, your bedroom. That's about it. That's about it. Just, you know, and I wouldn't recommend it for a children's bedroom, but a primary bedroom or an adult bedroom, I could recommend it for that. Just a low traffic area where there won't be a lot of touching, a lot of, you know, running into, or a lot of mistakes happening. So the next finish that I want to talk about, which is next in line, would be eggshell. Now, eggshell kind of resembles the texture of an egg. That's why it's called eggshell, just in case you didn't know that. So just keep that in mind. Now, it does give a little bit of the matte feel, but it's a little bit more durable than matte and flat, okay? So I definitely recommend eggshell over those two if you wanted that matte look. I would definitely recommend eggshell. So next we're gonna talk about my personal favorite, which is all throughout my home, and that is satin, okay? I love satin. Satin is my ultimate favorite. That is the one that I use in clients' homes just because it's durable. It's durable, it's not too shiny. It's a hint of shiny, like literally a hint of shine. But it kind of gives you that matte feel at the same time. It's just not too much. It's the perfect medium. And it's so easy to clean. Literally just wipe it off and keep it moving. Satin is the perfect medium. I absolutely love satin. And that is the one that I highly recommend to do throughout your home. Again, you can do the low lusters, like the flat and the matte and the eggshell. You can do those in low traffic areas, but satin, you can do that in high traffic areas as well as low traffic areas, obviously. But you can also do satin in moisture rooms. So like your bathroom, your laundry room, your kitchen. Satin works everywhere. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it for the ceiling though. I don't think I would recommend it for the ceiling just because of the hint of shine that it gives. But other than that, I definitely think that it is a one-stop shop, okay? So yes, highly, highly recommend satin. So next we're gonna talk about SemiGloss. So SemiGloss is gonna give you more shine. It's higher in durability than all the others that we spoke about, but I feel like SemiGloss works best with things like your trim, doors, what else? Cabinets. I wouldn't suggest it on a wall in a room unless it was like a children's bedroom. And the only reason why I say that is because of the durability of SemiGloss. So I would definitely suggest using that in a children's bedroom, but you could use satin as well. I use satin in my children's bedroom, and trust me, the walls and I fight all day, every day. Okay, it's constantly a fight between us because it's either somebody kicking the wall, throwing the ball at the wall, somebody hitting the wall, drawing on the wall. It's always something. So trust me, I understand the struggle, okay? I understand the struggles, but I definitely suggest either satin or SemiGloss. It just really depends on your preference as far as the shine goes, but I do know that both of them are very durable and they're easy to wipe clean. So keep that in mind. And SemiGloss is also good for a moisture-bearing room. So again, your laundry room, your kitchen, your bathroom, SemiGloss is also good for that as well. So yeah. So last but not least, we're gonna talk about the final sheen, and that is HighGloss, okay? So what I will say about HighGloss is I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous, but again, it has to be used in the right way. Have you ever heard that term of glass skin? This is literally the same thing. It's literally glass paint. You can literally see yourself through it, okay? It is beautiful, but the gloss is just that extreme that you can see yourself through it, okay? So what I would recommend using HighGloss paint for would be doors or anything that you want to draw attention to, any type of accent that you may want to draw attention to in the room. I would definitely recommend HighGloss for that, but I would stop there. So I did want to touch on one other thing that I don't think I mentioned in the beginning about the low luster sheets, which are the flat, the matte, and the eggshell. What I did want to say is that even though they are not very durable, they do hide your imperfections. So if you have imperfections in your wall that you may want to hide, just keep in mind, again, they're not very durable, but that particular finish can hide your imperfections. So it's a give and take, pick and choose, but I did just want to make sure I said that. So the next thing I want to talk about, which is number 4, and that's just going to be cohesiveness. So we want our home to flow. We want it to be cohesive and we want it to flow. Now, there's nothing wrong with going bold in, you know, a room or two. There's nothing wrong with that. Y'all know I have, if you follow me, then you already know I have a black dining room and I have a black hallway, okay? It's nothing wrong with that. But what I will say is, if you do choose to go bold in, you know, different areas, then I would suggest going neutral everywhere else. And that is with your creams, your beiges, your whites, your ivories, your grays. I would definitely stay within the neutral zone if I'm gonna go bold in another area, if that makes sense. So for instance, in my home, I'm white with a little bit of a gray undertone throughout my home, but then I have my black dining room and I have my black hallway. But that's just an example. I have some gray, I have a gray office, I have a gray bathroom upstairs. So, you know, I just stayed within the neutral family and then I went bold in a couple of different areas. So that's what I would recommend if that is what you're choosing to do. Now, if you're struggling with your color palette, what I would suggest is to use these. Use your swatch card. Believe it or not, y'all, it gives you a color palette. This is just an example of the way that it can flow. Do you see that? Use these to your advantage. Now again, the colors may vary from the swatch card, but at least you know you will be within the same family. Use these to your advantage. Okay, that's one good way to make it cohesive. Another good way is, let's just say, okay, this is another suggestion that I have. Let's just say that you're in the store, you're in Lowe's, and you're looking at color swatch cards, right? What you can do is take, and some of them have like little boxes cut out on them, And the reason why it's like a peephole. So basically what that is for is to, what I normally do is I will fold it back so that only one color is showing. And let's say that this had, let me show you. And let's say that this had a little hole, or even if it didn't have a hole, what you can do is take the next swatch card that you're looking at as far as color and just lay it on top and see if you like it. Now, like I said, sometimes they have the little peephole. You would just put it over that swatch card like this, and then it would come through. Like the color would come through. I wish I had one. And then the color would come through, and that would show you what it would look like as far as the cohesiveness and the flow of your home. So that's just another little tidbit that you guys can do that will help you as far as creating a colorway within your home. And for number 5, my last and final suggestion, y'all, is just think of the function of the room. Think about the mood that you want to create within your room. Do you want it to feel light and airy? Do you want it to feel moody? All of those things you really want to take into account when you're picking your paint color. The reason why I say that is because color can really affect your mood. So for example, I had a client that wanted to do black in her office. Now, while I think that would be absolutely gorgeous, okay, gorgeous, me knowing my client and knowing who she is and how she is, I knew that that would not be good for her, okay? Number one, it was gonna automatically put her in a bad mood. Like, I didn't want her to be irritable or tired or, you know, weigh her down by being in a dark space. Now, that might work for some, but her personally, I knew that it was not a good look. So we did not go that route. So those are the things that you want to take into account when you are choosing your paint color. Just think about how you want to feel, how you want that room to make you feel when you enter it, when you are sitting in it, or if you're sleeping in it. How do you want to feel? You know, do you want it to feel like an oasis? Do you want it to feel sexy? Do you want it to feel moody? Take all of those things into account. Do you want it to feel peaceful? Those things really matter, and I'm telling you, the color of your paint can really make a difference in your mood. So yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know what you would like to see next. What 5 things would you like to see next from me? I really do hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoy doing content like this. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.